Much better. Hopefully, all of this makes sense. Because, child. Okay. I'm like doing the most. What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another video. My name is Kasey. If you're new here, which majority of you are, and if you have not already, hit that subscribe button so we can stay besties forever. Um, get my water here. I think I'm gonna scoot this a little bit more. Okay, perfect. So, in today's video, I'm going to talk about 10 things I wish that I knew in my 20s, like in my early 20s. So, I'm 29, and my birthday is at the end of the year in December. So, for my 30th birthday, I'm going to go all out, subscribe to my channel so you can see the prep for that. It's going to be fabulous, okay? But until then, I've been doing like a lot of like soul searching and like really just trying to think about like, I'm a little hard headed. So I have to really think and recall like things that I have learned. Um, maybe like 10 things that I learned and 10 things that I probably didn't need to learn because I am like stubborn. So let's just get right into it because I know that this video is gonna like help you because it has helped me in reflection. Okay, lots of reflecting before I head into my 30s because I'm gonna be better. My goal this year is to be 1% better every single day. That's it. So, my number one thing would be to do it for yourself, not for others, or not for the applause of others, or not for like the validation of others, or any kind of. The only reason why you should do things is because it genuinely makes you happy, or is genuinely something you have to do, like going to class if you're in university is something you have to do. Getting a job is something you have to do, or provide for yourself is something you would have to do. Like things like that are like non-negotiables. But like as far as like going to events or like spending my time in places that I would not normally want to because someone has asked me to, and a lot of people like put their asks and requests onto me, and when I was younger I could not find a way to say no, and for some people still like saying no is very hard, which I guess like is my number 2 point is say no. So I say yes to a lot of things. Some things that I know I'm going to get in trouble for, some things that I know I shouldn't be doing, but I'm going to do them anyway, because sometimes I just say yes, you know what I'm saying? And that comes out faster than no. But some ways that I have slowed myself down to like really think about like, okay, is this something I really want to do or is it not? So I slow myself down with not giving a response. Like, I'll say, hey, like, I will let you know. Or right now, if it's not on my calendar, just best believe it's not going to be done. Because everything is on my calendar or on my to do list, that's the priority. And if it's not on my to do list, then it's on the back burner. Okay. And as far as saying no, sometimes I'll say yes and then I really meant to say no. So then I have to find a way to say no, like respectfully, because I don't want to be disrespectful because they still invited me somewhere. But sometimes it's just like either the event is not sitting well in my spirit, maybe I'm tired and need to like just protect my mental space, or maybe it's just, I'm just not feeling it anymore. And that's going to be okay for me to stay at home. So those are my first two. My next thing is really what I'm doing now is read, read, read. Like when I was obviously like right out of college, like you don't want to do any more like reading, and reading is no longer your thing. You're like, I'm over studying for right now, and I definitely understand that. But there are so many good like books out there. I prefer like help, self development, like internal like things, or business books, things like that is what I really enjoy. Spiritual books I really like, stuff like that that takes my mind off of whatever I'm currently doing or allows me to wind down. So at night, I spend between 30 to 45 minutes reading nightly. So, I mean, sometimes I don't do that, but sometimes I really try to read, but it helps you like just have more to talk about in conversation with other people. It also allows you to just expand your thought process. It contributes to that growing 1% better every day. And so that's why I personally enjoy reading or listening to audiobooks or anything like that. If you Some people may not have enough money to buy books right now, and that's fine too. Guess what? YouTube has lots of like books on audio on there already. So listen to those audiobooks. And it's free. Obviously, like if you download like the YouTube premium thing, like you can download the video and you can listen to it at any point in time, but I haven't done that. So my next thing is overthinking. I am such a critical overthinker. Like I have not yet mastered it like yet, but hopefully this year I will. But like I like critically think about everything. Like I overanalyze like what I'm gonna say. I overanalyze like what I've said already, and like replaying that like in the back of my mind. I just overthink everything, and I feel like because of how you interact with people causes you to stop and overthink a lot more. Like I've had disagreements with friends and people I love because of how I said something, and I'm like, Kasey, that was just not okay. You know what I mean? Like it's just not okay in any way, shape, or form. And so like having to correct that, like I'm never going to be too big of a person, or my pride will never get in the way of me saying I'm sorry to someone, especially like if I hurt their feelings. Now sometimes they don't like the way I say sorry because I'm like, listen, I really did mean what I said. I'm sorry that your feelings were hurt, and I meant this. You know, like, are we going to move forward? Are we going to fix this issue? Are we going to talk about it? Or like, no. So those are things that I'm working on with apologizing, but I do overthink every situation. And sometimes I'll even pull a memory back from like years ago and rethink about it. And I'm like, dang, I wish I would have done this. But if I would have slowed my mouth down, then I probably would not have been in that situation. So there's that. Um, okay, so, and this is like in no particular order. I think that this is number 4. This is going to be number 5. Um, Not everybody is meant to be with you forever. Like I am a loyalist to a fault. Okay, like I say you're my friend, I am like Kevin Hart. Okay, like the day we signed up to be best friends is the day your bullshit becomes my bullshit, and my bullshit becomes your bullshit. And that's how I feel. So if you feel that same way, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because we rocking out here. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing I wouldn't do for my friends. So when I had a friend to like leave my life, I was very confused because it really like took me out of left field, and it was really like confusing for me, and I just didn't understand like why you no longer wanted to be my friend, and why you couldn't express this to me, and maybe we could have fixed it. But I've come to realize like, okay, she was just in my life for a season, and she came, served her purpose, and left. People come into your life for a purpose, and it's up to you to get the purpose that God intends for them to be in your life, and maybe they'll stick around and maybe they won't. And maybe they won't. So there's that. Um Also, this goes both ways. But tip number 7, I'm gonna just stop counting them. I don't know. My next tip is don't sleep on yourself, and don't let anybody else sleep on you either. Like people will try to downplay your success, and people will really get into your head to make you think that you really not the shit. But guess what, baby? You are. You are. And you know it deep down in your heart. You know it. And that comes like with, that also helps with confidence as well. Like when you know that you're that girl, when you know, then you know. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, like, it's like, well, I'm trying not to be like arrogant, and there's a very fine line between being arrogant and confident. But it's never about being arrogant. It's just about just knowing, like, okay, I really am the shit. And if you don't think that, then I can't help you because I know that I am that girl. So for a while, like, and this sounds really weird, but for a while, like, it's not that I didn't know, but it's that I tried to downplay myself so much to other people that, like, I'm like, no, like, I'm finna pop my, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's that. Um, Also, learn and set boundaries because people will get all up in your business and people will give you opinions on your business. And so, like, now, some things, like, I don't talk to my mom about because I don't want her opinion and I don't want her worried about me. So, I don't share things with her. I mean, not like non-life threatening things like that are no, since she watched my YouTube video. There's nothing that I wouldn't tell. I would tell my mom everything, but my mom is a worrier, so I don't like to tell her things. My best friends, like, if I call for a vent session, I let it be known, like, I just need to say this out loud. Or if I really do want their opinion, then I'll say, hey, I would really like your opinion on this. Just so you know that if I didn't ask for your opinion, I don't want your opinion. I just need to say this out loud to someone so it makes sense to me. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is, like, when I'm like dating, you're not coming over to my house. That is a hard boundary for me. You're not bringing your nasty energy over until I have cleansed you properly, or that I have, like, come to know you better, to know that, okay, you're not going to bring bad juju over to my house, because people will come to your house and leave their funky energy in your house. And then you got to sit there and re-pray all the demons away because you didn't have boundaries of who you let into your household. So there's that. So just learn your hardcore boundaries and set them and stay with it and have everyone understand your boundaries. Next is, and this may like date me a little bit, or I may be like old saying this, but you know the phrase like keeping up with the Joneses? I don't know if you guys know this, but keeping up with the Joneses is a phrase, okay? Um, where you're trying to like buy the latest thing or have the latest thing so that you can look like you have money like whoever the Joneses are. Let me just break this down to you real quick. The Joneses do not exist. They do not exist. That family, the Joneses, do not exist. They do not exist. So stop trying to keep up with other people. That's what's wrong with social media and influencers. Like, I'm not trying to say, like, I'm not trying to bash influencers because I genuinely love talking and I love video recording. And that's just me because I was a news reporter for years. So I love it. But if I had to go back and like do high school, like start from high school or middle school all over again with social media involved, I just couldn't imagine because like Instagram didn't come out until like junior year of high school for me. Like Facebook came out before like maybe ninth grade or something, but at that time you had to have like like a .edu like email address, and I didn't have that. So like, yeah, if I had to go back and do my life all over again with social media, I would be a completely different person. And I feel really bad for like some of the girls that are coming up today. Like someone brought this up on TikTok and they were like, when we were growing up, we had like our version of influencers because like YouTube really wasn't like around. I mean, it wasn't like what it is now. But like That's So Raven was that girl. Okay. Tia and Tamara, that girl. Okay. Who the heck do these people watch now? I don't even know. I don't know who's on Disney Channel. I have no idea who's on Disney Channel. You see what I'm saying? And that's the problem. And like our artists back then were the same age as us. Like if you look at like Rihanna, she's like what, 30 something, like a few years older than me. So it's like easy to like relate to like those people, or like love Chris Brown because he was 16 and I was what, 12? I don't know. So yeah, I think he's hot. Yeah, I think he's fine, and yeah, he's my man. Like that's that. So, um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Um, Also, what I would tell myself now, because adulting is ghetto. Like adulting is the absolute like most tragic thing on this planet. Adulting is ghetto. I would tell myself, do not grow up too fast. Like college was like chef's kiss for me because it's like your sweet balance between like you're still like in the bird's nest but like not really because you're like living on your own on a college campus, so you can still kind of do whatever you want to do, but it gives you like lots of protection still. And being an adult is hard. It's hard. Bills are hard. Managing your finances can be hard. Not overspending can be hard. Making your own money, especially as an entrepreneur, is hard. It's hard. Adulting is ghetto, and I would not wish that you guys grew up as fast as you are growing up. Slow down. Slow your roll. Because it's some college students right now that look more grown than me. It's some high school students right now that look more grown than me. And I'm like, dang. So there's that. Um, And I'll say my last and final tip is stay in your own lane. Like this is one thing that I can say that I feel like I do well majority of the time. Like I stay in my own lane. Like I do whatever I want to do, and I don't allow for outside influences to like come into my mental space and make me do things that I really don't want to do. I stay in my lane, okay, and I perfect my own lane. When I say that I'm like a horse with blinders, that's really what I mean. I will literally hide people's story, hide people's Instagram. I do not care. Because truly and honestly, the only people that I want to stay connected with are my friends. Like, I really don't care about anybody else's social media except for my friends. Okay? So, stay in your own lane. I'd love to know your favorite tip, or maybe if there wasn't a tip mentioned that you would give to your younger self, please leave it down in the description box below. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to follow me on all social medias and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Bye, guys.